Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. It's Monday, the last day of June. Today, our temperatures are supposed to get up to 97 degrees, and right now, it's 65. It's really pleasant, but I have such a long list of things to do today. So I guess I'd better get started. I hope things are going well for you. I know it's been very hot back east and in the south. And I just want to caution you to please be careful out there in the heat. And I know you are. You're smart. You're smart gardeners. So I hope you take care of yourself. I was watching Heather's tomatoes, poppies, and everything. And she's just really struggling with the heat, trying to keep her tomatoes and everything happy. So I'm thinking of you guys. It gets hot here too, but it's very dry. It's not humid. Every now and then it'll get a little humid. But let's go try to start that laundry list of things to do today, because I'm definitely going to be limited. Good morning, little girl. How are you? Such a nice puppy. The first thing I have to do is go through my corn packets and see if I can find a variety that has a short amount of days to maturity. My husband cleared another patch of ground, so we have some room to put some more corn in. Now, what I've noticed before is if I plant some corn one day and then a week or two or whatever later, I go plant some more. When the first corn matures, then the other corn, no matter what size it is, all of a sudden starts to tassel, and then it's pretty much done. It doesn't matter how far apart the beds are. Do you have that problem? Do you know what I could do to avoid this? I'm still going to give it a try, though. So the first thing I have to do is pick out some corn seeds. And then I have to restock my garden bag with fertilizer and jute and whatever I need. I just take it around with me this year. My sister was kind enough to get me the bag, and I've really been using it a lot. So those are the first things that I'm going to do. The only seeds I have where it will come to maturity in a short amount of time is this little package I have from Burpee's Triple Crown Bicolor Hybrid, and that's going to be 75 days. So this will keep me within the range that I need to be able to get the corn growing in time. I really wanted to try this one from Baker Creek. It looks very good. It's called Country Gentleman, and again, I really wish Baker Creek would put the days to harvest on the back of their packages, but from what I've seen, they do not, especially with my tomatoes. But I did look it up online, and it takes 88 to 100 days, so that is not in the running. This one from Fairy Morse, it is a jackpot hybrid, and it takes, I believe, 85 days. And this one, Burpee Sweet Corn Silver Queen Hybrid, takes 92. And this Burpee Sunny Days Hybrid takes 78. So that could have been in the running. I might just put that one to the side. And then I have a bunch of the American Seed from the dollar store. And this is an Early Golden Bantam Hybrid. But it takes 75 to 80 days, so that one's kind of in the running too. Anyway, I'm going to get these corn seeds soaking, and then I'm going to restock my garden bag and get going outside. I have the corn soaking in water, and before it gets too hot, I wanted to plant some tomatoes out here in the garlic bed. So that is what I'm going to do first. And our wonderful son and daughter-in-law and grandson, they're back, thank heavens, and the doggy. So the doggy will help keep the cats out of my garden beds, my flower beds. They stay on one side of the fence, she stays on the other, and it just works out really well. So I'm hoping my son can help me weed eat this lovely garden, and we can get it whipped back into shape. But where we took out the garlic and I amended the bed, this is where I'm going to put probably maybe 5 tomatoes here. If they're determinate, I can put them in a place where the cattle panel isn't, but I do have sweet potatoes right there. Fingers crossed that they grow. So I have a lot to do before the sun gets on me because it's going to be super hot. I also have some habanadas and early jalapenos to get out too. So it's a race against the clock and the sun, so I'll see how much I can get done. It's about 45 minutes later, and I have this whole bed number 3 replanted with tomatoes and peppers. I know they're going to look horrible for a couple of days, especially with the heat that's going to be happening, but fingers crossed. I'm out in the pasture garden. I brought in the hummingbird feeder from the main garden. I've got to get those cleaned up and the nectar changed, and I've got to quickly rake this area here and get it planted with some corn. And then I'm going to tie up some tomatoes. I'm trying to work as fast as I can because it is hot already. This is where we planted the cucumbers on Saturday, and just about wore me out because of the heat. And here we have 2 rows of yellow flesh watermelon. There's one coming up here and one there. Then the corn is going in here. And then we have watermelon and cantaloupe planted in these 2 rows. So I'm really, really hoping with all the watermelon that I'm planting that we get at least one good one. And I'm just going to get some more of the dairy cow compost and just fertilize it. So this ground that my husband dug up on Saturday is already getting very hard that I can hardly rake it. So my son is bringing out the rototiller, our little rototiller, so I can fluff up the ground and then be able to plant it. Rototilled up the 3 rows. Now I'm going to get the corn seed put in. It's 11:15 and it is already getting very hot. But I was able to get the 3 rows of corn planted. These are the cucumbers, and these are the watermelons and cantaloupe that I planted. I can't remember. It can't be more than a week or so. But I rototilled all around them without touching their mound, so I could get the weeds out and try to keep the weeds down for as long as I can. When the plants start to spread and go through the rows, then you can't rototill anymore. So there's some more watermelon down there beyond the stakes, and then potatoes beyond that. And this is the wild raspberry patch. The raspberries aren't wild, the weeds are. So now I need to go over to the tomatoes and start tying them up. My husband still has this little corner that he could dig up, but we'll see how his energy and the heat treat us. So it may or may not happen, but with what I did in the main garden and the things that I planted here, I hope we're finished planting. Now, of course, there's always succession planting. You can't do that with corn or probably watermelon or pumpkin. It has to be something like beans or peas if it's not too hot. Spinach, again, if it's not too hot, but something that takes a lot less time. I would say 70 days or less, ideally 60 or 50 days. So we will see how we do. This little rototiller has saved me a lot of time and energy. I can't garden without it. My husband has taken a great interest over the last 2 or 3 years and is helping me so much now. And even he needs to use it. He will use a broad fork to loosen up the soil and try to get out as many weeds as he can. And then he will go through here with the rototiller and break it up further. So this soil is pretty rich. We've dumped a lot of chicken manure and straw and leaves and what have you on here. And I think out of all the soil on our property, this strip here is probably the richest soil. So anyway, I have great hopes for it. I rototilled the onions right there and the zucchini and yellow squash sitting next to it. And as you can see, the tomatoes here and here. I'm not getting up because I'm finally sitting down. Started working where there's the most shade So I want to get as cool as I can before I work through all of those rows and cattle panels of tomatoes. So between the corn and rototilling over there and watering it right now, and rototilling here and here, and now I'm tying up tomatoes, plus what I did in the main garden, planting all those tomatoes and the peppers, I think I'm getting quite a bit done. I know that as soon as the sun is on me here, I'm probably going to have to call it for the day and go in and get some lunch and get cool and probably just work in the house. I hope that you've enjoyed this video today, seeing all the things that are going on. Like I said before, it helps so much for your psyche and the way things look to keep things mowed and weed-eated in your garden, if at all possible. It actually needs to be mowed again. So I hope you have a lovely day, that you've learned something, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.